Today we're gonna get to know Marshall in the pot.
We're really serious about this stuff.
Let's see what we have here. From impactful moments to office pranks, memories, and even some dad jokes, here's what makes Marshall the world's best boss. And you're gonna look
right here.
right there.
All right, here we go. Let's see if we can do this in one take.
I'm on?
Am I looking at the camera? Sorry.
Yeah.
Is it already going?
Oh, come on. Give me a countdown.
3, 2.
Marshall, what a milestone. It's amazing you've reached this juncture. I've been reflecting a little bit about what's changed since you and I got together 30 years ago, spending 27 years together. Certainly one thing that's changed is our hair. We both started with dark hair. Now they're both way gray, but mine's mostly gone. You get to keep yours. Hopefully there's been some growth in our wisdom and stature along the way as well. But one thing that hasn't changed, and grateful that it hasn't, is who you are, both personally, professionally, and in your priority self. Personally, you've always been honest, patient, calm, smooth, unruffled, and that's been a consistent nature of yours for all of us. Professionally, you've always been fair and detail-oriented and foresightful. Tanner Clinic's growth from the 25 docs when we were together originally to nearly 250 providers has all been your wisdom and your foresightfulness and your leadership. You definitely are a leader's leader. That has been consistent. Priority-wise, you've always been a family man with your work-life balance perfectly in check, keeping everything devoted to that which is most important.
So one of the things I love about Marshall is his ability to kind of lighten the mood. He helped me learn how to not take things so seriously.
Anyone know why skunks don't have to pay taxes? They only have 1 cent.
I have been at Tanner Clinic, one of the only ones, longer than Marshall. I can tell you when Marshall started, he had this little nothing of a desk stuck in the corner at the basement. I still keep that memory in the back of my mind when I think of all he has accomplished. Marshall has a wonderfully direct, calm influence, and under that influence, we have all benefited and seen the great growth of Tanner Clinic over decades. He's only worked for one company, Tanner Clinic. The only thing I can say is we will miss you. Have a great retirement. You deserve every positive thing in retirement that comes your way. And thank you for all you've done.
I've only worked at Tanner Clinic since graduated from college. I'm very loyal to Tanner Clinic. To me, it is more than a job. It's about people. It's about the success of a group of individuals. It's about the livelihood of every person that works here at Tanner Clinic. That it's more than a job, because I think about these individuals give up a third of their day at least to come here when there are challenges in everyone's lives. We don't often know about those, but they come here to give of themselves to bless the lives of others through their service. Every time I've thought about that, I've realized it's not just a job. You're impacting people's lives by even the way you interact with them as you walk down the hallway. You can make a difference in somebody's life, and so it's more than a job.
Who was the first accountant in the military? General Ledger.
So Marshall is a big practical joker, and he always is trying to trick everybody. So One of my favorites that he pulled off was when we moved accounting over to the Layton main building, and he had lectured us about not putting nail holes in the walls because we had just wallpapered the office. And so he went in the night before with the help of Dane, and they got these fake screws and put them all over and said, put something about that it was for their pictures to hang or something. So he stuck them to the wall with like sticky tack or something, and the accounting girls came in the next morning and he was there ready to say, why did you guys put holes in the wall? And they were freaking out, just panicked about the holes in the wall. They looked real. And he's very good at like holding a straight face when he's pulling these pranks.
I was gonna tell a retirement joke, but it didn't work.
Marshall, I'm so excited for your retirement upcoming. You and I followed the same timeline here. You were the assistant administrator when I came, and you've been a great mentor to me. I will surely miss you. Things I admire about you: you are such an amazing person with the individual. Even though you take care of the big picture here and all the facility, you always have time for every individual. And I just admire that, and has made this place a much better place to work. And Tanner Clinic really is largely because of what you've done the last 30 years being the administrator here. And I'll miss you, but I'm excited for your retirement and my upcoming retirement in the next year.
What do you call a woman in the middle of a tennis court? A net.
In honor of your retirement, Marshall, we wrote a poem.
For so many years, we've had a front row seat to calendars, meetings, and phones on repeat. We've handled calls, plans, Monday meetings with meals, and you've kept all the conflicts from becoming big deals.
You led with calm, with humor, with care, finding solutions that were thoughtful and fair. You trusted, you listened, you showed all respect, you backed your people, no blame, just what's next.
Now you say you're retiring, taking a rest, but let's be honest, you still do it best. Leaving forever, that seems so extreme. What about part-time? Doesn't that sound like a dream?
We all agree that retirement is neat, but we're kindly requesting a partial retreat. Stay just a little, don't fully depart, because this place runs on your wisdom and heart.
Happy retirement, Marshall. Enjoy every minute.
I think Marshall McKinnon is single-handedly the reason I ended up at Tanner Clinic. He's heard this story, but when I was investigating different places to work, I was doing a rotation here at Tanner Clinic and decided to go down to administration. And as I walked into the office, he invited me into his personal office, and we sat down and talked for about 15 minutes. And as I left that interview, I felt that this was the place I needed to be because of people like Marshall McKinnon. And for the last 12 years that I've been here, he's continued to reinforce that idea, exactly what Tanner Clinic represents, and that is just wholehearted compassion, understanding, and professionalism. And I hope to be like Marshall one day.
And for myself, as I retire, I see myself spending more time with family and being able to serve them, and that would be one of my greatest goals, would be to serve my family, including my grandchildren.
This is my badge when I started at Tanner Clinic with Marshall. So look what happened since.
Marshall found out that I start the vans up every morning when there's frost on the windshields for the courier vans, just to heat them up for the courier drivers. He got wind of it, and one morning decided he's gonna, in between when I start them up and then come back to turn them off, he's gonna pull a prank on me. So he comes out, grabs a van and parks it over in this north parking lot. So when I come back out and see we only have two vans, I somewhat panic, I guess you could say. Went and I walked around front to make sure to see if the courier driver showed up early. There wasn't one there. So I got on the cameras. Marshall, just as excited as could be, takes a van, and then I come out. Anyway, figured it all out, and it was fun.
We also feel strongly here about a no blame culture. We all make mistakes. We all beat ourselves up enough for the mistakes that are made. And our focus ought not to be blaming anyone when something happens. We learn. It's an opportunity for improvement. And I think personally that's the best way to improve, is to be able to talk about things and not feel like we're having blame placed upon us when we make a mistake.
Marshall, I can't believe it's time for you to retire, but I want you to know how much I have appreciated you and have been inspired by you and the way you've led our clinic. I think you've represented us very well. I personally know of several physicians that are here at our clinic today because of your interaction with them during their interview process, and also how you treated them and how you represented Tanner Clinic to them. I also appreciated the way you have interacted with others, the way you've led our meetings, and I have really appreciated your open door policy, because I know I can walk down there and walk into your office, and I have enjoyed our conversations throughout the years of your advice and counsel, and also some of the concerns I had, and as we worked through things, of how things have worked out. I appreciate how you've represented Tanner with compassion, courtesy, and respect, and I think you exemplified all those qualities. I want to also say that this goes for my wife and how we appreciated your friendship throughout the years, and all what you've done for me personally and for my family. So I wish you the best, and you will be missed, but I hope there's good days ahead that we can still enjoy our friendship.
Growing up, I always wanted to have a big brother. I was the oldest of my family, and I always wanted a big brother. Well, I got my wish when I was able to work with Marshall. Marshall's been my big brother for 3 years now. And over those 3 years, I've learned so many valuable lessons, so many things that will last my lifetime and hopefully the lifetime of others. 30 years he's been here, more than that actually, and there's been thousands of patients, hundreds of leaders, and a culture that is defined by integrity, honesty, and kindness. And people haven't just come here to Tanner Clinic because of the name. They came because of the culture, and that culture was reflected in you and who you were. Marshall showed us that you could lead with strength, but also with kindness. I found that out because he was that big brother that I needed. Luckily, he wasn't the type that would hit me all the time, but would teach me all the time. Now, because of him, the workplace around us became more of a community. It's the reason that people stayed. It was because they felt like it was family here. Now, Marshall, you might be retiring now, and hopefully you'll still have plenty of influence on me throughout the years to come, but your fingerprints will still be everywhere. You will be like a tree whose shadow is always felt within the clinic. And I know that I will always have your influence in my life. You didn't just build a clinic, you built people. And for that, I thank you. Thanks for being the big brother I never had, and thanks for not hitting me too much.
I love Tanner Clinic. It's all I've ever known, and I've been here my entire career because I love Tanner Clinic, and it's not the buildings, it's not what we do as much as it is the people that are here and the service that we provide to others. It is what we do. We're a service industry, and there's lots of ways to provide service, and I think Tanner Clinic does it the right way.
Hi, sweetheart. I can't believe that this day is finally here. After 3.5 decades of work at Tanner Clinic, it's hard to imagine that this chapter of our lives is coming to an end. But I am so excited to spend more time with you and have more time to spend with our kids and grandkids, helping our parents, serving others, traveling, getting some house projects done. I know it's going to be an adjustment, especially leaving our Tanner Clinic family, the people that you've worked with and that we've loved for so many years. Tanner Clinic has been a tremendous blessing in our lives, in your life. And it's been a time of great growth, not just for Tanner Clinic itself, but also for you. A time of learning, a time of cherished relationships. You have worked with some of the best people we know, and I know you've expressed that that's the hardest part of retiring. But I hope that we can still connect with these dear friends and see them. I just want to thank you, express my gratitude for you and for your hard work ethic, for the type of leader that you've been. You're a man of integrity, a man of humility and kindness, and just have that strong work ethic. You've blessed our family and blessed so many others. And I love you, and I'm excited for this next adventure together.
A quote comes to mind, of course, that suggests don't just leave a legacy, live your legacy. Marshall, you've done both and have done both really well. May God bless you for what you've done and in what you have yet to do. Thank you so much. Congratulations on your retirement. Peace.
The people that you work with are just, when you get down to it, your very best friends. They say on your deathbed, you never wish you spent more time at the office, but I will. Gotta be a lot better than a deathbed.
I couldn't have asked to work with someone who had stronger morals and values, and I'm gonna miss him. That's all I got, guys.